Right, hello there. For the last few years, I've been advertising this workshop as a two-storey workshop. Reason being is it's got a second floor, but the second floor, all it's been is just storage. Just the apex of the roof. I put a flat floor in, put a set of steps in, and I can throw my rubbish up there. But I've always had the need, especially in the workshop, to do fine delicate work, and with this workshop being what it is, you get a lot of dust, a lot of mess, and it's always been very difficult trying to separate the two. Things like engraving, glass engraving, timber engraving even, leather engraving, soldering, etching work, all these fine little things that don't really make a lot of mess, but they need a bright, clean area to work. Separate from all the hustle and bustle of a woodworking workshop. So at Christmas I decided in this empty space, or I say empty, it's full of rubbish, space upstairs above me in the workshop, I would build a dormer window. 2 metres square, giving me over 2 metres of height, and with the floor space I've already got would give me like 2 by 3 metre working area. So quite a simple process to do. I just took the sheets off the roof, built the framework, sheeted it back up with some standard sterling board, and then covered it all over with felt. Put windows in, and then later on cladded it with PVC cladding, making it all look nice and pretty, presentable from outside. Good windows in the front give me lots of bright natural light. Then on the inside, with the job that I do, which is kitchen bathroom fitting primarily, I get a lot of leftover materials, and one of these materials was the PVC ceiling cladding boards. I had plenty of them left over, so I cladded the ceiling in this and fitted some LED lights, nice clean white light to work from. And then again, materials that I have left over, which is a multi-panel board, which I use in bathrooms, I would say 75% of the time. It's a good stable board. It's a 12mm marine ply board that's sandwiched both sides with a formica, one side being the presentable side, the other side just being a stabilising white surface. That board is very strong, very hard, very stable. It doesn't split, it doesn't twist, it's tremendously strong. So with that, I made myself a countertop. I cladded the walls around the window and made the place generally clean and fresh and ready to work. And then this area, that's already done, so I can't show you doing that. It was a little bit bad weather to be able to video. But now it's done. Now I need to set it all up, get the tools in place, get things laid out the way I want them to be. So I'm going to have to do some manufacturing of shelving, and possibly little cupboards, drawers, such things like that. And that's the process I'm going to take you through now with a series of probably mini videos or something. But first let me just have a quick look around and show you what all this is that I've done. From outside you can see this is the dormer window on the top of the roof of the workshop. And it looks all quite clean and pleasant. Wasn't a difficult job to do, but it gives me a lot of useful space. Now as we go up the stairs, because of making that space, I was left with this void area, which I've made into a timber store. Very useful for me. I can just throw all my bits of wood there and it's easy to find and it's out of my way. Then into the main area, this is the dormer area. Now you can see the ceiling. Here I had to mould the panels around the beam that was there, which isn't a difficult job as long as you've practiced at doing it, and as it's my trade, I obviously have a bit of experience at doing this. And lovely little LED lights, and I put a switch on the wall upstairs so I can turn it on and off. Nice at night time. Turn it off, I can have a look outside and be a bit nosy. Not that there's all to look at round here, just my garden. Then inside the work area, as you can see, windows cladded around with the multi-panel, nice and clean, black, sparkly, with a couple of power points so that I can plug all my bits in. I've used the same material but a different colour for the worktop, and then a strengthening bar across the front. Just gluing these in, just here, this is just an external corner metal piece. It's glued in that way, and this piece glued in that way across the full length of it. It strengthens itself, it needs no support really. Basic web construction. And the only thing I've done so far, apart from putting the power points in, is I've installed a couple of vices. A standard woodworking vice here, a couple of timber jaws, light plywood, and over here a little engineering vice, quite useful little thing. I can actually undo that bit there, and the whole thing turns around to whichever angle I want it to be, and then I can just tighten it up again, like so. Very good. And this light, which is actually a magnifying lens as well as a light, and very useful. It can just scan and go anywhere you want it. You see, it just moves around where you want, back to where you want it there. Or you can bring it up high and just have it as an extra work light, position where you want. Very convenient, just like so. And take this piece off. It gives me magnifying facility as well. And I've vinyl the floor. Nice and clean. Again, what I use at work, a leftover piece. Now what I'm wanting is, these are generally the tools I'm going to be using up here. I've got my engraver, my glue gun, little mini drill, my soldering irons, little mini screwdrivers, my magnifying headpiece, little mini drills for other artistic work that I like to do. I'll probably cover that later. And a range of pliers, soldering iron, little bits for them, drills, numerous bits and bats, clutter. I need to get it sorted out. Anyway, so all this clutter I need to get sorted out. And the idea is to try and make some quick, easy shelving, brackets, racks, whatever's needed without spoiling the effect. It looks nice. I don't want to cover it all over with bits of wood. So hopefully making something that will complement what it looks like. Then possibly make a couple of drawers, cut and inset into here, so I just have slide out and bits and bats can go in. Plenty of space underneath it. Beneath you'll see I've got storage boxes already full of the stuff that I'm likely to use here. And finally the last thing I want to do is some sort of a chair. I've got this here, which is nice for relaxing, but it's a bit difficult working up there, isn't it? I need to go here, sit on the edge of it, oh, no, sit on the edge of it there, right, and even that, I'm still a little bit, so I need a chair up, and as it's a long surface, I think a chair to keep me about here, that I can roll around on, so one on wheels. Something else I can make later downstairs, so that we'll cover that near the end. So first thing, let's work out where to put everything. Okay, so that's an insight into it, and I think that's enough for today. When we come back on the next video, we'll make a start at looking at making the shelves, brackets and such things that we need. Okay, so thanks for joining me, and goodbye.